Hello team, welcome to my session on Coffee with Prab, and today we're going to discuss some coffee shots of Cisa exam questions. This is my self-made questions which give you a kind of a perspective about how to think like an auditor, and purpose of discussing these questions will give you visibility and thought process how to think like an auditor in the real exam. I also made similar video in past how to think like an auditor, what is Cisa. So you can check my previous video, it has a great hit. If you're new to my YouTube channel, click on the subscribe button and bell icon to make sure you should not miss my future videos on audit. My name is Prab Nair, and for more information, you can refer my LinkedIn profile. Thank you. So let's start with the first part. Okay, so question talking about which of the following should be considered as one of the most important factor when setting the frequency of IS audit in your organization. So question talking about your suggestion, what is the frequencies in which we need to set the IS audit. So two keywords are there, frequency of IS audit and factor. So we have 4 options here. Change in the regulations, definitely when there's a major change happen in the regulation, we do the re-audit. Resource requirement, when new resource has been added, we do audit. Business acquisition, definitely. So if you go by the option A and C is very close, because whenever major change happen in the regulation, whenever there is a major business acquisition, we do conduct an audit. But if you can see the D option, different type of level of risk. Okay, that is another important factor we consider audit. Okay, that is also reason. So but can we say the different level of risk that we have here, okay, which is basically arise from the change in the regulation and business acquisition. So somehow A and C is part of the D. So whenever in the real exam or whenever you practicing question, you have to read the options very carefully. Here they're talking about the frequency of IS audit, and question talking about most. Most mean most frequent. Most is a word used for most regular. Example, the most important book or most regular book you follow is Cisa official guide, right? So here different type of level of risk or different level of risk which is arise from a business acquisition and change in the regulation. So A and C cover in the D. So you use risk assessment process to describe and analyze the potential audit risk which is inherent in a given line of business, and you should update such risk assessment at least annually to reflect the changes. But the level and nature of the risk should be more significant factor to be considered when determining the frequency of audit, because audit plan need to be reviewed annually, or major change in the business or major change in the regulation or different level of risk which is arise in the organization. That is why I'm going with the answer D here. Let me check if the D is answer. Yes, the answer is basically D. Let's move to the next coffee shot. Okay, so next coffee shot. Which of the following benefit are most provided by a well-structured risk-based audit program? The question was specifically talking what is a primary benefit or most important benefit, most regular, okay, we get from the risk-based audit program. So option A, audit transparency. See, audit transparency is depending upon the individual who conducting an audit or the people who providing a report. But that is not a most important way that we have a well-structured risk-based audit program. Option B, audit clarity. That is the input we need. Control effectiveness definitely is one of the requirement of well-structured risk-based audit program. But the most important thing we expecting from a well-structured risk-based audit program is audit efficiency and usefulness, which is also called as a validation, verification, and efficiency and effectiveness. Okay, that is a primary benefit we get when we have a well-structured risk-based audit program, because when we have a audit program in the organization, it basically cover all the aspects. So by this way we can have a effectiveness of the audit. Transparency is basically something is the input we have. Audit clarity is more like a outcome. Okay, we expecting. Control effectiveness we have. But question talking about well-structured risk-based audit program which cover all the aspect of an organization. That is why I went with the answer D. Let's move to the next coffee shot. Okay, the internal IS audit function ability to meet its goals is primarily determined by, very good point, It means we have a audit functions ability, and to meet their goal, how can we basically primarily determine? Okay, so internal IS audit function ability to meet its goal is primarily determined by whom? So that's a question. So option A, knowledge of audit people, but by knowledge of audit people, we cannot determine the primary objective, right? So A is removed. Second is independence of a audit people. That is true, because if the auditor is doing an audit with full of independence and all that, they can able to provide the independent opinion. Option C, cost of auditor, it is not a primary parameter. And option D is business aspect of an auditor, that is also required. But the most important thing is required is the independence of the audit people. See, determining if the controls are basically implemented or any kind of a effectiveness we have, if it's coming from a independent audit opinion, it gives the better clarity. That's why internal audit in the organization directly report to the board. And the question also talking about internal IS audit function ability to meet its goal. So primarily way to meet the goal is that this audit is done by the with the independent opinions and independent function. That is why we went with the answer B. That is the most important thing we have. So let's move to the next coffee shot. Thank you. Okay. Which of the following is a critical component of a risk management aimed to reduce the chance of being charged for software piracy as a result of using unlicensed software? So question talking about critical, which is more like a dependency. Okay, without that things will not work. And the scope of the question here is chance of being charged for software piracy. It means concern or compliance issues. So question talking about which of the following important component we have in the risk management by which we can able to protect the company from all kind of a piracy and all that. So option A, network audit, but network audit is all about checking the network control effectiveness. Second is application and software audit. Makes sense. If I'm involved the software audit and application audit in my risk management framework, we can able to conduct the application audit more effectively and we get the visibility about which are the applications are license based. Process audit is a very high level thing because we have a multiple process. Change management audit is basically only talk about tracking of the changes. So the most close option by which we can able to identify the piracies issues and everything is by the help of application and software audit. Let's move to the next coffee shot. Okay, so according to some source of information, CEO has a complete access to the enterprise system. Normally it happens during an audit, we always get an information from auditee that okay, CEO has a complete access to enterprise system, which is actually a concern because it could lead to a single point of access. So what is our next action plan information auditor will perform? The question talking about sequence team, because question saying the next. So question talking about sequence. So we need to select that option which talk about sequence, not an outcome. Okay. So as an auditor, my role is not to implement anything and cannot present my own opinion without any evidence. So option A, document the finding present to the management without any verification. Does not make sense. So one is removed. Definitely whatever the information has been provided, I need to confirm that. I need to verify that. That is something I can do that. Remove the access. I don't have any authority. Halt the audit. It is not in my hand primarily. So first I will confirm the evidence. If I found something like that, then document the finding and parallelly I will halt the audit if it's required for the business requirement. That is why the next best action I will do is confirm the evidence. So this is all from my side as a coffee shots. If you find this video useful, do share in your network and do share your suggestions and feedback in the comment section. Like, do you want such similar videos in the future from a Cisa base or other certifications? And what are the important topics you want me to prepare in Cisa in the comment box. And if you still not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon because I'm planning for more videos on Cisa in future. Thank you. Bye.